But then we do the same old thing with the fresh start. We do the same old thing with the same new beginning. And therefore, we end up producing the same old results. We make New Year's resolutions that we don't keep. We make New Year's goals that we don't follow up on. And so now, this year ends up being like the last year, even though you have an opportunity for a what? Now, look, I didn't mean to put a pin in the bubble tonight, because that's common. It's part of life. The children of Israel were the same way. God would give them a fresh start, and they would end up doing the exact same thing over and over again. I believe it's somehow ingrained in humanity to kind of mess that up. But look what the Bible says in Hosea chapter 7. Look at verse 1. He says, every time I gave Israel a fresh start, and I wiped their slate clean, and got them what? Going again. Ephraim soon filled the slate with what? And it's the same thing again and again and again. So my aim during the course of this series and over the next several weeks as we start this series concerning a fresh start, my aim is to help you maximize your new beginning this year. Help you maximize the fresh start that God has given you this year. And the first thing, the first key that you need in order to maximize your fresh start is this. You have to develop a listening heart. Say that with me. Say, I have to develop a listening heart. I told you a bunch of people that Jesus came. It seems like everybody that Jesus encountered with, he gave them a new beginning. He enabled them to have a fresh start. But there was one story in the book of John chapter 4 that I wanted to share with you tonight. And in John chapter 4, Jesus was coming from one place, and he was going towards Samaria, and he had to pass through Samaria to get to where he was going. And in order to get some rest, he stopped his journey, and he sat by a well, and he's hanging out the well one day. And then there came a woman, and we know her as the woman at the well. If you know anything about the story about the woman at the well, if you know the end of the story, she had some issues in her life, but she ended up getting a fresh start from Jesus. But the thing I want to share with you about her story tonight is that there were three things that almost tripped her up and messed up her fresh start. Jesus was there, not by coincidence, to give this woman at the well a fresh start on life. And she almost messed it up 3 times. And I want to make sure that we're not tripped up by those same 3 things this year, because it's normally these 3 things that trip us up and mess up our fresh start. Here's number 1. The first thing that was almost messed up her fresh start was her everyday routine. All of us have an everyday routine.